I'm a big time Dave Matthews fan. Anybody knows me knows I love the Dave Matthews Band. I'm always dragging people to concerts. I see them a bunch of times. They're who I listen to the most. They're who I listen to while I'm writing my own music. So yeah, I'm rooted in the Dave Matthews Band history, and I'm super pumped to be making this video. This isn't just going to be like my top 10 like songs. This is going to be my top 10 like performances of Dave Matthews Band all time, as I've listened through all the records, some even the bootlegged records. Like, I've listened to a lot of Dave Matthews, and if you're new to Dave Matthews, you put this playlist together, you'll fall in love with the music. It's just so freaking incredible. One point before I get going here, in terms of albums, what are my favorite albums? Well, I really just listen to the live music. I feel like his studio music is just in a box, and the beauty of Dave Matthews Band is it breaks the box. So like I don't like his studio albums. I just listen to the live albums. In my opinion, listener supported, incredible. Live at Central Park, incredible. The third one I recommend is on YouTube. They released like the 2002 Live at the Gorge concert on YouTube. You know, it's like a couple hours watch. Check that one out. But yeah, let's jump into it. Once again, these are the top 10 performances, in my opinion, of the Dave Matthews Band I've ever heard. Okay, and I've listened to a lot. Number one, and this is number one for me by a margin. Number 41, listener supported album. Wow. I mean, this song is just incredible. It has the best in-band communication I've ever heard. I mean, it's just like perfectly done. It is a movement of energy. It tells a story like via his words, but also like the sound. It's just so brilliant. It starts off with Dave killing it, and then it jumps to the violinist, and then it jumps to Leroy Moore, who died in 2008. But he's, in my opinion, the greatest saxophonist I've ever heard, one of the greatest musicians I've ever heard. He jumps on the flute and he dominates. He kills it. And then he picks up his sax like mid-go and just puts together one of the greatest saxophone solos I've ever heard in my life. And then what I loved about this band was the violinist then challenges Leroy, who's a Ku Klux King, was like his kind of nickname, on like taking the stage, and Leroy's like, screw you, this is my solo, this is my time. And he steps up and he just hammers after going for minutes. Okay, he's like already sold at this point for 5 minutes. He just hammers another 2 minutes of just complete, like, knock somebody in the head with a shovel solo. Unbelievable. And once that resides, Dave picks up with just a basic, you know, a couple like hammer on guitar, and it just on acoustic guitar, and it just is such an incredible piece of music. Number 41, listener supported, my number one performance by a mile. Number two, and don't hate me for choosing the most popular song. All right, it's popular for a reason. Ants Marching live at Piedmont Park. I believe that's in Atlanta, Georgia. That record, that whole concert's great, but the Ants Marching, for some reason, is just so freaking electric. And the violin plus Leroy coming together, especially towards the end, is just flat out phenomenal. The crowd was incredible. That, in my opinion, is the greatest version of Ants Marching I've ever heard. And I know there's a lot, but that's just my favorite, and I think it's just the overall best. Number three, All Along the Watchtower, written by Bob Dylan, but performed once again by Dave Matthews Band, listener supported record. It's what they close on. It starts with the bass solo, and it moves into Dave playing acoustic guitar, and then the rest of the band comes in, and it is just fierce, and it is absolutely electric. I mean, it's just an incredible take of music. Like, just go and listen to that. If you're going out for a run, just listen to that record. You will not run out of energy. It literally just is a powerhouse of energy. Unbelievable take. Go check that out. All right, next song, Crash Into Me. Now, Crash Into Me, there's no real one that I think is dramatically better than the other. But it's such a good song. It holds the energy between the fun side of a relationship between a man and a woman, and like the beautiful connection that is. the wanting for someone or your wife or your soulmate to crash into you. Like the whole concept of that is incredible. You know, and singing "Crash" is not an easy thing to sing, syllable wise. And Dave he's got it down. He does such a good job. In my opinion, though, the Gorge 2002 concert that I mentioned earlier is the best version. It's just the cleanest version, and Dave just had such good vocals that day. And yes, but once again, live at Radio City, a lot of the acoustics I've listened to. Sweet Breer, it's a college. That album that came out like 5 years ago on his website. That's a great one. You really can't go wrong, Crash Into Me. But yeah, I just want to make that's my number 4. Number 5, Dreaming Tree. Dreaming Tree at Piedmont Park again. Dude, that song. There's something about music that gets you in the stratosphere of higher intelligence. Okay, I call it like it's in a form of what is called channeling, right? You're channeling your soul, you're channeling a greater energy, like your energy and like the energy of the realm. Not to get deep. This is a deep channel, so we do on Joey Scott Media. They hit that in that song. There's a part in the middle where the whole band's going crazy and Dave's not saying like any words, but he's doing like vocalizations of like syllables. And it's mind-blowing. It's just incredible. And Dreaming Tree is one of the greatest songs in the Dave Matthews catalog. Right? It's like if you're a real fan of Dave Matthews Band, like that's one of your like low-key favorite songs. It's a song that like the normal population wouldn't know, but any real Dave fan would know. Side note, also the only song I've never seen live, which is a complete bummer. I mean, oh no, it's a complete joke. But yeah, Dreaming Tree. Go listen to that live at Piedmont Park. Once again, I think that was in Georgia. It's like halfway through the record, I believe. Totally domination. Their ability to hit that range of like higher knowing. It's just blissful music, and it's a very intense song. It's an intense song, but they just drill it. They drill it like no other band I've ever heard. Absolutely incredible. All right. Say Goodbye. I love the song Say Goodbye, but specifically the best version is Crashing Quarters, the MTV show, 1996. There's something about like Dave's vibe and the band's vibe at that exact day where that song really just came out. And Leroy, once again, being the incredible musician that he is, just dominated that song with, I believe, the flute and the sax again. Or no, it was just the flute. But yeah, just the uppity and the vibration of that version, I haven't seen captured again. I think that one is specifically the best one, and you can check that one out just on YouTube, right? Jimi Thing, Central Park. Oh my God. Central Park's the album. Jimi Thing is a song. Holy cow. All right, so it's kind of just a normal song, right? Warren Haynes, who's a famous guitarist, he's also there, and it sounds good. But Dave goes into what's called Dave Speak, which is essentially where he's just like sputtering words out. And it becomes like this secondary jam session that they go like really hard in, and it's just like dynamite. And the crowd's going absolutely nuts. And then towards the end of the song, you know, he's like, New York City's the best city in the whole wide world, yeah. Like he does like a bunch of stuff like that. And then he like brings in like the fire department, and he brings in like the police, like telling them thank you. And it just like is totally, absolutely electric. I think that's the best Jimi Thing I've ever heard. You gotta check that out. I mean, just unfreaking believable. Next, Crush. Once again at Central Park. Crush is a fan favorite. I mean, it starts with the bass solo. It's a very uppity song. I mean, once again, it's one of those songs where you're listening to and you just at one point like do the pump fist because it's just electric, right? And I don't know how else to explain it other than that. You just got to check it out if you never listened to it. But yeah, Crush, amazing instrumentals. Dave's vocals and what he wrote, absolutely incredible. And I think Central Park had something special that night, and that song really vibed extremely well. Number 9, The Stone. I have live in New York, which is a separate album than Central Park, and they opened with this song. They opened with the Stone. Have you ever seen the Stone like actually play? It's very technical on the guitar, and the song is just, it's a powerhouse again. It goes through the darkness and the light. It's a very fluidness in motion of a song, and it's great. Like, that's all I gotta say. You gotta check it out. I mean, every single one of these you gotta check out. But yeah, that's incredible. And then lastly, number 10, Seek Up, live at the Gorge. When I was talking about Dreaming Tree earlier in the video, they do the same thing for the song Seek Up, live at the Gorge 2002. It's just incredible. It's like, it's mind-bending when Dave and the band get into this zone where he's like saying words, but they're morely just coming out of him like yelling and like singing, and then the band like having their bass sound and then individually taking it on like solos during that moment. It's just incredible. Like, that's the best way I can describe that sound, and it's just so damn special when they get to that like peak frequency zone. Seek Up, live at the Gorge 2002. Complete domination, amazing performance by the band. And the craziest thing is, like, these songs, I mean, literally some of them are like back to back. You know, like if you go listen to some of these records, like they're literally like boom, 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 boom. It's just like, whoa, God, that's unbelievable. All right, I got honorable mentions, guys, so don't be freaking out that I didn't say Two Step or a couple other songs. Let me do some honorable mentions. When the World Ends, Central Park. This song is incredible. Okay, the whole band's playing, and then towards the end, everyone cuts out their instrument, and Dave just goes completely a cappella, meaning his voice only, for like a verse and a half. It's completely dynamite. I've never heard them do that again. When the World Ends, Central Park, unbelievable. Also, great song, written wise, unbelievable, well written. Two Step. I've gone back and forth on what the best two step version is. I'm gonna go with listener supported. Listener supported, I think, is the best two step. But if you got an opinion, let me know on that front, because I've gone back and forth. Cortez the Killer, which isn't a Dave Matthews song. It's a Neil Young song covered by Dave Matthews, and they only do it when Warren Haynes, a guitarist that's not even in the band, joins the band. He does that usually like once or twice a year. But yeah, it's the Central Park version of that. That song is incredible. It's incredible guitar. It's incredibly well written by Neil Young. And they dominate that cover. I mean, they just truly dominate that cover. It will literally hit you right in the head. Unbelievable. Okay. Every Day. I got a little wild one for you guys on the Every Day. One of Dave's most famous singles is the song Every Day. It's an incredible song. I think the best version of all I've ever seen was he did this concert with Trey from the Fish, and it was called like Dave and Friends. This is like, I think, to be like around 2010 range, and they closed on Every Day, where it was just him and Trey on the stage, and the whole audience is like singing with him with the intro to Number 36, which is a whole separate song. And it was just, I think that's the most perfect version of the song Every Day is that, and you can find that on YouTube. Dave Matthews, and it's like Dave and Friends, Madison Square Garden is that concert. You and Me, any version. You and Me is an incredible song. Once again, one of his famous singles. Yeah, You and Me, I think any version. If you got a version you like the best on You and Me, let me know. So Damn Lucky. He's closing a lot these days with So Damn Lucky. I think the best version, though, is live at Radio City. Just him and Tim Reynolds, who's his guitarist, just playing acoustic guitars. There's something about the purity of So Damn Lucky at Radio City. But yeah, that song's incredible. I mean, that song has such a positive vibe to it. It's a great listen, whether you're feeling down or up. That song is just brilliant to listen to. All right, next, Best of What's Around. This is going to be an interesting one. Best of What's Around, 1992, July 28th at Trax Nightclub. This is one of like the live track albums that he's released over the years. But yeah, this is when the band was really like, kind of coming together. They're not very tight, but it's just cool to see They just sound very good. I don't know. They sound very good on this record. And they all sing like the phrase best of what's around as a band, which I don't think they do really anymore, but they did in the early days. But it's just cool to hear like the early days. And yeah, they sound really good. And Leroy puts on an incredible solo. So yeah, that's a 1992 Tracks Nightclub, Best of What's Around. Best of What's Around's the song. Satellite, Red Rocks, 1995. One of the most famous live albums of all time is Dave Matthews at Red Rocks, and he did an amazing version of Satellite in 1995. So definitely check that one out. Satellite's a lot of people's like top 10 songs. Space Between, also one of the most famous Dave Matthews songs. Folsom Field, Boulder, Colorado. This is also when he had like the lady singing with him, and yeah, that song's just incredible. There, the dun 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 dun, Dave on the electric guitar, which he only has like a couple songs on electric guitar. It sounds so good. Like it just sounds so tough and so strong at the Folsom Field. So definitely check that out. And then lastly, this is the 21st song I'm recommending, the classic Tripping Billies. And I got two, Live at Red Rocks 1985, and then lastly, The Gorge 2002, the concert I keep recommending. Whew, okay. I can't play the song because I don't want to deal with like the whole copyright situation. But yeah, check those out. I'm telling you right now, you listen to this playlist, you put them all together, or you just go listen to listener supported Central Park or that 2002 Gorge show. I don't know how you want to be a Dave Matthews fan. I mean, some of the greatest music like ever written, and the band plays so well together. It's just a powerhouse, like frequency increase music, and it's so much fun. All right, guys, please consider subscribing. I forgot to even say that in the beginning of the video. I also got a plug. I run a sports channel, Beers by the Ivy. Check that out if you like football, and if you definitely feel like baseball in the summer. I'm a Cubs fan, so I cover a lot of baseball in the summer, Beers by the Ivy, drinking beers in Wrigleyville. And right now we're doing a lot of college football and NFL. All right, so appreciate your time. We'll talk soon. Take care.